Okay, so some of you might be interested in what I've been up to get Otto to be controlled using a radio control. Okay, so this thing here is a hexapod that my wife bought me. It's a Freenove hexapod, and the upgraded version came with its own joystick controller. Now this is going to be using the NRF 24L01 radio module. This normally plugs into this part here on the hexapod. In fact, this part here takes the ESP8266, so this can be controlled by Wi-Fi as well. Something I'm going to look into how they did that and do that for Otto. Okay, so yep, so this came with it. Let's just move the hexapod. So this came with it, and you can see it's basically it's a Freenove Uno. Yes, Otto's not going to like that. It's a Freenove Uno, and you just plug the joystick control into the top here. Yes, Otto's getting some random signals there. Right, let's just turn the radio off. Okay, Otto's quiet now. Okay, so this is an analog controller, which means that when I'm controlling Otto, let's just reset the radio. When I'm controlling Otto, I've got analog control over him. Now, these were the old NRF 24L01s, and they had known issues with communication. You had to actually solder a capacitor. It's a 10 microfarad capacitor across the ground and the power in. Okay, this is the one I put in Otto. It's overkill. It's the new version with an antenna. So I've actually got radio control up to 1 kilometer. I can't even see him at the end of the room, so what I'd be doing at 1 kilometer, I don't know. And I've popped that into the extension. So I've just drilled a hole. Nothing fancy in there. I just basically hot glued it to the back there and made all the connections inside. Otto's been run on a 7.4 volt LiPo with a buck converter. Nice power to the servos and good clean connection with the radio. Okay, so this is the analog side of things. So basically with any analog controller, of course, it's not just on and off like the Bluetooth. So if I push slightly forwards, I can get Otto to move slowly. Let me just move him back a little bit. So just a slight touch in the forwards direction, Otto moves slowly, and then full on with the controller, Otto goes mad. So what I'm doing is I'm mapping the analog values and then writing them to the standard Otto control functions. So of course it can go backwards slowly or fast. And with the switches and the potentiometers, so you have not just the analog control. I mean, there's a Z direction, which I've just made Otto go up and down. Oh, you can't quite see him. That's a Z direction. Yeah, so it picks up that, and then left. Or fast. But then of course we can also have, just like you would do on a games controller, combinations of switches. So if I go left and switches and directions, you've got the moonwalk, fast or slower, like that. Oh no, what on earth did I put on? Yep, it just goes through its routine. Can't remember what I put on 2. Let's see. Okay, so in the other direction, presumably. Whoop, nearly tilts. Yeah, so it's just combinations of the analog controller with switch controls. You've got plenty of functions if you start to show some imagination. My code's not very good. I've hacked it from the Freenove just so that I could get things running with Otto. But it's quite nice to see proper full radio control. A lot of people claim they do radio control. They're using the Bluetooth. This really is radio control with analog functions on Otto, which I think is quite nice.